Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. It's a new episode of the social media scene on its way. What's on tap for today? Well, definitely got to talk about Instagram. What does the CEO of Instagram say we should be looking forward to in 2022? I'll definitely share that with you today. Also, today, going to talk about Instagram. Surprise there. We were just talking about Instagram, not Instagram. We're going to talk about Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. And what do I mean by that? Parents, there's an internet scheme or a social media scheme going on that involves your teens. And I think you should be aware of it if you're not already. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about in just a moment. Also, today, we're going to talk about TikTok specifically and why soon TikTok is going to be everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. And I'll tell you how. Also, LinkedIn events. LinkedIn decided, you know what, we got to jump in this audio only game. And I'll tell you what they're going to do starting this month. So all of that and more is coming up next. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you may be in the world, hey, how you doing? Welcome to a new episode of the social media scene. I am Alice Fuller, principal consultant at Sheer Social. I know you're wondering, okay, so who are you and why should I listen to you? Well, what do I do through Sheer Social? I am a social media marketing training and consulting person, professional, if that's what you want to call it. And yeah, I do social media management too for some clients, but primarily these days, I do more training and consulting. Yes, who would have thunk it? I'm a teacher too. I saw that coming though. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. This right here is a social media scene. This is where week to week I share with you what is going on in the world of social media. Now, look, I cannot share every blessed thing that's going on because trust me, you wouldn't even want to know to begin with. But what I try to do is tailor it to how we use social media, primarily for business, some fun, and I do add a little entertainment flavor when I can, because in a minute, people, it's just all going to be media, or as we say, content. Not even in a minute, we're already in that space right now. Thus, the background. So, what are we going to talk about today? There's a lot to talk about today because I specifically want to talk about Instagram and what to expect in 2022. Now, I did a little bit of this last week on my top 5 social media news stories events of 2021. Thank you, Jennifer, for being my guest if you're watching. But today you're going to hear directly from the CEO and what he says what to expect for 2022. And yeah, some of it is like, yeah, Alice already told us that, but some of this might be a little new to you. So we're going to hear directly from Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, in just a few minutes. Also today, parents, please be mindful of what your kids are doing on social media because there's a scam, scheme, whatever you want to call it, going on, and it is criminal. I don't mean a slap on the hand criminal, me either. I'm talking about do some serious time criminal. So I want to make you aware of these schemes that are targeting teenagers specifically through Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitch. Got some stories to tell you. Don't mean to scare you, but I do want to make you aware, okay? Also today, we're going to talk about TikTok. TikTok is exploding. You think I'm prone to hyperbole? Not really. Not in this instance because Instagram has a new partnership that's going to place them everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. And I'll tell you what I mean about that. Also today, LinkedIn. For those of you that keep sleeping, I keep trying to tell y'all, don't sleep on LinkedIn. It is not your granddaddy's social media anymore. Okay. So, LinkedIn events. We've got some new things coming to LinkedIn events, especially in the area of audio. Can you say Clubhouse clone again? Yeah, you can say it. You'd be somewhat accurate. But there's some extra little things too that LinkedIn is going to provide that Clubhouse is not. Okay, so that is the rundown for this here day. So if you are new, thank you. For those of you watching the replay, appreciate you. And for those of you coming live, and I know some of you come in a little late, that's all good. Later is better than never. I need you all to do me a solid. Go ahead and share this stream with friends and frenemies. Your frenemies too. In those places and spaces, conversations about social media are going on. Especially slide this right under the nose of those people who think they know every blessed thing about social media. But what they're saying is a little outdated. You don't have to hurt their feelings at all. Just slide it right under their nose and keep it moving. Okay. So let's go ahead and start this here show officially. Can't start it officially without a clapboard. Let's see if my clapboard works today. My virtual clapboard. It actually works. Yay. It needs a little oomph to it though. That little clap is a little yeah. It don't really catch your attention the way I want, but I'll work on that later. So let's dive into the first story of today on my rundown. We're going to talk about Instagram. Of course, we're going to talk about Instagram. What else is there to talk about? There's plenty else to talk about, but we're definitely going to talk about that. So in the world of Instagram, we're going to hear from Adam Mosseri, the CEO. What does he say we should be focusing on in regards to Instagram for 2022? Well, technically it's basically what I've been telling you. Video, and more video. As I've already told you, it is not a photo sharing app anymore. Nope. So you're going to have to change up your strategy right out the gate. Now, hold on. Before I jump into that, let me check one little thing. Hold on, because I got to check some things. Just want to make sure I'm everywhere I think I am. And I am. Wonderful. Okay. So when we start talking about Instagram, you're going to have to change 9 times out of 10 your strategy for 2022, especially for some of you that have grown accustomed to just sharing images in your feed. Those days, gone. I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. Gone. Not that you can't still do that. You can, and you probably should, but that is not the focus of the platform anymore. Okay. So now we're looking at a new focus all around video and specifically short form video. Okay. So Adam Mosseri, of course, when he has something to say, he goes directly to his profile and does his edict from on high, kind of, sort of, and tells us exactly what the platform is focusing on for 2022. And to sum it up, video and control. Control. Okay, I'm sorry. Every time I hear the word control, I hear Janet Jackson in the back of my head. Sorry. But at any rate, so let's hear from the man himself. Okay, let me cue it up for you because it's a little extra. Let me go over here. And let's cue this up. Okay, come on. Oh, I turned the sound on.
Vaccinated over 4 billion people around the world. We saw a focus on the well-being of athletes with amazing, brave people like Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka. We freed Britney. We saw Olivia Rodrigo break onto the scene. We saw the Squid Game phenomenon. And a lot happened on Instagram as well. Lots of different areas, but 2 important themes were video, our focus on Reels, starting to consolidate our video formats and build new creative tools, and control, giving people more ways to shape Instagram into what's best for them with things like the sensitive content control, with the ability to hide like counts, with extending hidden words to DMs. And 2022 is going to be an even bigger year. We're going to have to rethink what Instagram is because the world is changing quickly and we're going to have to change with it. We're going to double down on our focus on video. We're no longer just a photo sharing app, and consolidate all of our video formats around Reels and continue to grow that product. We're also going to focus a lot on messaging. Messaging is one of the primary ways that people, actually is the primary way people connect online at this point. And we think Instagram can be the best place for people to connect with their friends about their interests. And Instagram needs to embrace the fact that messaging is that primary form of communication. We're going to not only double down on our work on controls, but expand into doing more around transparency. We think it's important that people understand how Instagram works if they're going to shape it into what they want or what's best for them. And you're going to continue to see us focus on creators. They're at the forefront of the shift in power that we're seeing across industries, from institutions to individuals. And one of the most important things that we can do is help them make a living on our platform. And so there'll be a number of new creator monetization products, ways to help creators make a living on our platform that I'm particularly excited about coming out next year. We need, as I said, to evolve because the world is changing quickly. And as we all emerge from this pandemic, or the shift from pandemic to endemic, we're thinking about who we are, what we value, and what kind of change we want to affect in the world. So I hope all of you get some rest over the holidays. It's been a big year. I'm going to certainly try to do the same thing myself so that we can hit the ground running in 2022 together. Peace. 2021 was a big year.
Okay, well, peace. Peace. Hey, Curtis. Happy New Year, Curtis. Yes, seeing you in 2022. How you doing, bruh? How you doing? So, you heard it from the horse's mouth. I see Adam. I don't know who chooses his shirts, but kudos to you. He likes to tease the eye with all that little chest hair and everything. I kid. Okay, so you heard it from the man himself. Okay, so 2022. Video, specifically Reels, specifically any damn thing TikTok is doing better. And anything they need to do to stay competitive with TikTok. That's basically it, people. So if you are, once again, if you are looking at your Instagram right now and you're like, you know what, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for all of this video. Well, you do have other options, but you need to carefully consider what they are. Where is your target market? Is your target market specifically just on Instagram? Could you reach that target market other places? Could you rely heavily on email or text messaging, because those things still exist and they still work? Could you explore other social media platforms? Yes, you could. So I don't want you, especially for small business owners who are already limited in resources, who are already limited in what they do in social media marketing, I don't want you to feel pressure to give in to necessarily doing what everybody else is doing because that's what everybody else is doing. I want you to carefully consider the resources that you have. What do you have time to do? And if indeed you can start using Reels. At the end of the day, you don't have to be all special. You don't have to use special effects. Start wherever you are and don't feel bad about it. If it's just you talking into your phone, fine. As long as you are sharing something of value, information of value to your audience, that's where your head needs to be. Yes, the platform is basically trying to turn you into an entertainer. That indeed is true. Nobody wants to really come out and say that, but I'll say it. This is the social media is becoming the new TV. Social media is now the new television. So we, the users, are no longer just users. We are now the entertainment. You are now the product. So just understand, whether using it for personal, and especially if you're using it for business and you want to get a business result, you need to get into the mindset of edutainment. Can I be educational, or can I provide information of value? But can I also be entertaining to my audience? Now, what people are entertained by varies. But at the end of the day, you got to understand what the platform is looking for, what the platform is favoring, and if indeed that's something you can work toward. And just be honest with yourself. Like I said before, do not feel pressured into changing your whole social media, whatever, just because Instagram and Adam Mazzari told you this is what we're focusing on. If you can take the baby steps toward it, do that. If you feel like you cannot, that's okay. Explore other options. That's what I am saying. We are past that point of telling people you got to be on any particular social media platform. At least I think a lot of us who have been in this social media marketing game for a little while, and we've seen the evolution of things, we understand that you don't put all your cookies in one jar. Instagram may be your primary, but it should not be your only. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right. So let's move on to other news. Okay. So I'm going to go to my TikTok story before I start talking about the parenting story, as far as social media and what teens and parents really need to be looking out for, because it kind of fits anyway. So TikTok, I know a lot of you, because you're not, you're ready to explore something else besides Instagram. And right now, the floodgates of TikTok are open, and the algorithms are favoring you right now. I suspect in the years to come, they'll probably shut that down, just like Instagram has to a degree, and you'll have to work a little harder at it. But while the floodgates are open, while the church doors of TikTok are open, a lot of you are going right to the altar, and you're doing what you need to do so that you can get your follower counts up. All right, that's cool. But understand this: TikTok is expanding too. It is not just going to be on your phone solely. TikTok is looking to expand to television. I've been saying this for years, people. In a minute, it's all just going to be media. And this is a great example of that. So TikTok, and right now sitting at with more than 1 billion users. Okay. And over the holidays, it is still the most watched, still the most downloaded app throughout the world, I do believe. So that said, it is looking to break into new areas, and see new people, specifically on new screens, TV screens. They've already launched a thing called TikTok TV, in case you didn't know. Now, so they're also on Amazon Fire TV, and they've got partnerships with Google TV and Android TV devices, LG Smart TVs, Samsung Smart TVs. Okay. So the newest thing that they've done is partner with a company called Atmosphere. Yes, Atmosphere. Now, what in the world is an atmosphere? No, not that Atmosphere. A company called Atmosphere. It's basically a startup company, and what they do is they license and they curate streamed content for commercial venues, basically for businesses. We're talking about going, say you go into a Burger King, a Taco Bell, or even a gas station, quite possibly, but a restaurant or something like that, where you have some time to sit and wait. Well, Atmosphere will provide that atmosphere, and while you are waiting, you can watch TikTok content. So once again, TikTok is not just going to be seen on the mobile device anymore. They are moving to bigger screens, which gives validity to what I just said about turning you as a user into an entertainer. Okay, so that said, this particular partnership will allow TikTok creators to have their content seen, of course, in all these various places that Atmosphere has client relationships with, various restaurants and other businesses. Okay, so on the surface of things, that's a wonderful thing. That's wonderful. Ooh, ooh, wee. People will see my content everywhere. Ah, Suki, you know, they can sell you on that exposure. Reverse. Okay, but here's the thing, too. What Atmosphere is going to do with the TikTok content they're going to get is this. Here's the part you may not like as a creator. They're going to choose certain TikTok videos, your content potentially. They're going to strip it of the creativity you've added to it, especially when it comes down to the audio, which is basically the music sometimes, and the captions and things of that nature. Okay? They're going to take that out. And then they're going to add their own captions and maybe some music to it. And then they're going to put advertisements around it as it plays in these various restaurants and other places. And I know you're thinking, because we already talked about this huge creator economy. Okay, so what's my cut as the creator? Yeah, that part. Here's the thing. Your cut as a creator is nil right now. Atmosphere is going to take your content, repurpose it, put ads around it, and as of right now, according to TechCrunch, they're not going to pay you anything. Nil. Nada. No rien. Is it de rien in French? Whatever. It means nothing. Okay, so at the end of the day, that might change, but as of right now, not so much. So here's the other piece to it too, because Atmosphere knows that in most cases, and TikTok knows this too, in many cases, not most, in many cases, people are looking at the content. They're not listening. And as much as we hear about TikTok being a great place for music discovery, there's a lot of people who don't listen with the sound on. And so when you're walking into these restaurants and other places and you see this TikTok content on a big screen, 9 times out of 10, you may not hear any music. It just may be the TikTok content and whatever other captioning and advertising they put around it. That kind of sucks as a creator, really does. But here's the thing. Leo Ressig, he is the co-founder and CEO of Atmosphere. He says the company does pay millions, low millions to content creators. But he says we get most of our content for free. This is what he told TechCrunch. Giving creators attribution to help them grow their brands and their audiences is basically the payment. Okay, for those of you who are about your coin, move closer to the screen, please. Because here's the reality of this. We are now in a huge creator economy. Everybody wants their coin. They want to be paid for their hard work of creating all of this great content. Saying they're going to pay you with exposure. Exposure does not pay bills unless maybe you're on OnlyFans or something. Exposure, maybe long term, may help pay a bill or rent a car, whatever it is you got. But in the short term, not so much. And I've worked a long time in entertainment. And yeah, when I first started out in the game of entertainment, you could sell me on, ooh, You can get out there and work and get to know people and things of that nature. Uh-huh. Okay, that was cute for a minute, technically for years. And yes, the value of the relationships are immeasurable. But at the end of the day, where we are in social media right now, content creators expect to be paid for all that creativity. And we have seen some amazing creativity on TikTok, on Reels, and other places. So I understand that Atmosphere is a startup. I get all of that. I understand all of that. And technically, maybe as a startup, budgets may not be, even though they say, we've paid into the low millions. Okay, well, that's cool. Um, but you might need to come up off that a little bit and really consider paying people for this content that you are using. I don't understand how you could so comfortably just say, we're going to pay these people with exposure and building their brand and building their reach through that exposure in 2022. That might have worked 2016, that might have worked in the early 2000s, but creators are smarter now. It's a business, it's a brand. So, at any rate, for those of you that are interested in learning more about Atmosphere, let's go over here to the website so you can see what I'm talking about. Atmosphere.tv. That's no, just atmosphere.tv. Let's go over here and see what they're talking about on their website. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay, as you see, biggest day TV to enhance your business. Okay, all right, that's cool. Okay, engaging audio optional entertainment for any space. All right, now playing in over 19,000 businesses worldwide, people, worldwide. TikTok right here being their newest partnership. So TikTok gets their money, but the people who are providing the content to TikTok are getting paid nothing. Okay. So Atmosphere, the leading, okay, what is Atmosphere? The leading streaming TV service for businesses, yada, 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 yada. Mood enhancing, free for life. All right, whatever. So they're talking about increasing sales, okay, for the business. Customers are likely to return to your business compared to businesses without Atmosphere. Oh, okay. Unlike cable, Atmosphere's exciting audio optional programming is designed to keep your clientele off their phones and engage with your business. Oh, okay. Establish a vibe. Uh huh. Look at all of this, people. Look at all of this content. Look at all these content providers they are working with. And you mean to tell me all these people they're working with, they're not paying the actual content creator, but they're paying the platform? They're paying the curators. And look at this. Look at all the businesses they're in. Taco Bell, Meineke, Burger King, Caesars Entertainment. Yet, medical waiting rooms, laundromats, hotels, spas, and clinics across the world. And you mean to tell me you're not going to pay the content creator? Okay, I'm gonna let y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all decide that on yourselves. I just think that's a John Brown shame, and John Brown is really not the word I want to use. But okay, so at the end of the day, TikTok is going to be seen everywhere. That's the goal. And technically, with that type of, what do they call it? There's a marketing phrase for it. I can't even think of it. It's not brand awareness, but something of the market. When you've got that many people looking at you on your phones, because people are still going to look at TikTok on their phones just by virtue of habit. And then you've got TikTok on the screen, and then you go home and see TikTok on your big screen TV or your monitor, whatever it is you got. So that right there pulls it slightly ahead of Instagram. It does. It does. So while Instagram is focusing on reels, trying to compete with TikTok, you might be trying to think about how we can get beyond just the platform and into other places and spaces and reach new people. Just saying, Mr. Mazzari. Um, Here is someone whose name I can't pronounce and I won't even try. But you're watching on YouTube. Hi, I'm just going to call you Mr. G or Mrs. G or Miss G. How about just G? Okay? Or do you want to be a they? I don't know. But I see you. I acknowledge you. How you doing? Thank you for watching. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on now to my parenting story. For those of you that have teenagers, and I'm talking old enough to have a bank account. For some of you, that might be 13, maybe. For some of you, that might mean you're 16, 17, 16 to 19 something year old. That demographic right there is ripe for the picking. And what do I mean by that? When we start talking about social media, and yeah, we've heard a lot about the negativity of social media and how it is impacting the mental health. But here's another aspect I don't think we are really talking about as much, and that is some of the more criminal aspects that are happening with the platforms and how they are targeting teenagers. Just this week, as I was doing my morning scroll on Twitter, I came across this story about money laundering and how in the country of Turkey, and I know you're like, Alice, that's in Turkey. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Turkey is what I eat. It's not where I live. It's not a place I visit. I get you, but stick with me a second. 40 people in Turkey arrested for a money laundering scheme on Twitch. And they basically robbed people of $9.8 million. Okay, you're thinking 40 people, Turkey, has nothing to do with me, doesn't impact me at all. Not my teenager, because we don't live there. Okay, keep listening. All right, so here's the other thing. In the UK, I know you're thinking, I don't live in the UK either. It's okay. Because here's the thing. Social media, people can reach your teenager from anywhere in the world. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Through social media, these money launderers can reach your teenager from anywhere in the world. Okay? So in the UK, they have a name for these kids, primarily teens, that help these gangs launder money. They call them money mules. Money mules. What in the world is a money mule? Okay, so let me go over here and educate you a minute. Because as we start talking about social media and e-commerce, social media and how the platforms are now setting themselves up for money transactions, this right here is a combination of what's happening online and offline. So over here, money mules, what are they? Could you fall victim? Okay, so criminals are targeting young people through Snapchat and Instagram, promising that they can make hundreds of, well, this is pounds because this story is out of the UK, in minutes by becoming a money mule. And basically, it's a form of, like I said, it's a form of money laundering. And what they do is the teenager, the mule, agrees to share their bank details so that cash can be deposited into their account for them to follow instructions to send it to another bank account. And then the fraudsters target people who don't have a history of criminal activity to make these transactions seem less suspicious to banks. You won't know where the money is coming from or where it's going, but it could be used to fund drugs, child trafficking, and other terrorism. Okay. So, this was in the UK. 85, it says right here, 8,500 money mule accounts owned by people under the age of 21, some belonging to teenagers as young as 14. Okay. And you're probably still thinking, but Alice, That's in the UK. That does not affect my teenager here in the States. Okay. Let me show you this, because in 2022, this is just going to continue to flourish. So parents, when you see your kids coming home with some brand new kicks or sneakers, in case you didn't know, um, when and they don't work and you're not paying them an allowance, I want you to understand something. Now look at this. This is what's going on here in the U.S. Right here in the great United States. When we start talking about, now this is a story from 20, and I'll be honest, this is 2020, but I got some other stories to show you from just last year. So look at here. And I'm going to read some of this to you because it's going to be hard for some of you to read. But the U.S. law enforcement takes action against approximately 2,300 money mules in global crackdown on money laundering. Okay. Now, we're looking at the additionally more than 35 individuals were criminally charged. This is here in the United States, and arrested for their roles in receiving victim payments and forwarding the fraud proceeds to accomplices. This includes attorney's offices for the Central District of California, Maryland, Texas, Ohio, and Virginia. And even more than that, additional criminal charges were brought by U.S. attorney's offices in Southern District of Florida, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, come on and raise up as usual, Southern District of Texas, Mississippi, and New Jersey. Okay? All right. So, as this begins to grow, here's another story that I want you to see and understand why this is serious. How do you even begin to know this is happening? How do you know whether your teen is even involved in something like this? I'm not a parent, but I want y'all to know this is nothing to play with. Okay, so this is from the FBI.gov. And I know like, I really don't want to go to the FBI website. Well, I'm comfortable going there. I don't have any warrants or nothing, but I want you to see this. Okay. Now, who's at risk for this? Now, primarily teenagers, but anybody right now, with so many people being laid off work, that's one, or deciding to quit their jobs because of the great resignation and all of that. So people are looking for ways to make money. What are the signs? How do you know you're being targeted? If you get an unsolicited email or social media message that promises easy money, okay, that's pretty simple. Everybody knows that one. The employer you communicate with uses a web-based email service, Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, Outlook. I've been telling my clients and telling people for real, just go ahead and invest in a URL for your business so you don't look like this stuff right here. Just go ahead, make that little investment. You do yourself that solid. If nothing else, get the domain for your business, attach an email to it so you don't look like some criminal activity is going on. Okay. You are asked to open a bank account in your own name or in the name of a company you formed to receive and transfer money. No. You as an employee are asked to receive funds in your bank account and then process or transfer funds via a wire transfer. You are allowed to keep a portion of the money you transfer. And of course, there's no job description. Okay. So dating and online social media sites. An online contact or companion whom you have never met in person asks you to receive money and then forward it to funds, basically the same thing you see when you, in your emails, when you get that email from Prince somebody or the other who needs money transferred to them in certain countries. You know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You need to be aware of what your teens are doing, especially when you see them all of a sudden they got money and money flowing from places you are not aware of. they could be involved in this scheme. So I'm going to show you a little snippet of a video, and I want you to understand. And here's the crazy part. Um, this is out of the UK though, but I'm telling you, this is a global thing happening. And technically, we are not really talking about it much in social media. We see these headlines and everything. Oh, we don't want to hear from Adam Azari anymore. So we're looking at Vice. Here's a video from Vice.
With fraud and scamming on the rise, criminal gangs are always on the lookout for people willing to lend them their bank accounts to receive and withdraw that unlawful cash. The people whose bank accounts are being used by these fraudsters are called money mules.
They said within 3-4 days there'll be like £4,000 in your account and you can have 5.
But why would people let criminals use their bank account when it could result in paying the price for someone else's crime?
More often than not, this presents a red flag for banks, which can get you blacklisted and done for money laundering, which could land you in jail for up to 14 years. I want to investigate this new crime trend by speaking to the police, the victims, and also the recruiters, manipulating people online to launder cash.
I'm with Banks and Shanks, two fraudsters who don't want their crimes traced back to them. So instead, they recruit money mules. They're meeting up with one of them who's just received money from their latest bank fraud into his account. As payment for letting them use his bank details, or deets, they're giving him a cut and returning his square, which is Roadman for bank card.
How did you meet Banks and Shanks?
This Snapchat,
Snap.
I literally see a post. Ever since that, I found that it was easy way to make money. Ever since they've been doing business.
And are you like nervous about the risks involved and all of that?
It's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, the game goes. When you really certain things, that's the deal you have to do.
So how much did you just give my man?
Giving him 2.5 bags.
2.5 bags?
Yeah.
So what do you think he does with that money next?
Sky's the limit. He can do anything with it. If he wants to go out and spend it all on design line, he'll do that. If he wants to save it, he's smart.
Okay. That's all I'm going to show you of that video on Vice. Y'all can watch it. You can Google it, go over there and watch it. But what's amazing to me is y'all don't want to be caught, but you do a video. You don't want to be caught, but you sitting up here looking like the whiteout versions of yourselves. But you don't want to be caught, but yet you do a video. I don't, you know what? It's not for me to understand. Okay. So done with that. Parents, be aware. 2022, social media and how we use social media for not only just for fun, not only for, building your business, but also understand that there is potential there for criminal activity and for your teenager to very easily get sucked in to something that looks so easy. Oh, you know what? I can do this. This is real easy, no problem. And it's criminal. And it will put your child away for many, many years, whether they got a criminal background or not. So let's move on because there's more news to talk about. So, all right. So my last story of this here day. Let's now talk about LinkedIn because I wanted to end it on a positive note. I didn't want to let that be the last story. So LinkedIn, for those of you that are still exploring social audio, we talked about this last week. Social audio really kicked off in 2021, expected to grow in 2022. Yes, it may not necessarily be on Clubhouse because the growth of Clubhouse is kind of stalled a little bit. But one reason for that is because now you have other options, and also because, people want to get outside and meet in person, do what they do. But now you have other options. Greenhouse on Spotify. Facebook has audio rooms. And lo and behold, LinkedIn has now thrown its hat into the ring. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Okay, but I told you about this a little while ago, so it shouldn't be a surprise really to anybody that LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is ideal for this type of gathering people together around a business topic and having a virtual event. So, what LinkedIn is planning to do starting this month is you're going to see, well, here, let me preface this. Not all of us is going to see it, which is why sometimes I hate telling you stuff, because not everybody gets to participate at first. So this is still in a beta, but I suspect this is going to roll out to everybody relatively soon, in the next couple of weeks to 2 months. And some of the other things will roll out in spring. So you got February, March. Okay. So, and you got some April too. But at any rate, what LinkedIn has decided to do is they too want to have their own Clubhouse version at the end of the day. And it's going to look and feel just like Clubhouse. Here's a little snippet of it here. So as you see here, let me push in a little bit for you. Okay, there you go. So as you see here, they're talking about the future of work. You got some people talking on stage. You can see the people that are that are listening, not watching per se. Same thing that's on Clubhouse. Nothing special there, with the exception of the beautiful part is it's on a platform. So the people who are your LinkedIn connections will get some sort of notifications. They will know somehow or the other that you are on or involved in this type of conversation. So that's pretty good. So, I can't say it's exciting. It is exciting and not exciting to a degree, because it's exciting that, yeah, you get to do this type of activity on LinkedIn. But at the end of the day, LinkedIn isn't necessarily bringing anything new to it per se. So then LinkedIn says, you know what? We're also going to add LinkedIn video events. Look at here. Okay, well, once again, it kind of looks like a Zoom, a little version of Zoom. Okay, that's nice. Of course, once again, the benefit is you already have an audience there on LinkedIn that you could probably promote this to. So that might work for you. And you can see who else is listening or watching, that kind of thing. And you don't have to leave the platform to do it. That's cool. And then you've got LinkedIn Live, which is what I'm using today. And so you got the live chat. You can see the participants, things of that nature. So LinkedIn says, hey, we are not going to be left out of this grand conversation about social audio. And we too are going to jump in and provide you a lot of tools so you can host events, audio only events, and record them. That's good. So you can, of course, you can record them, add them to your podcast, listen to them afterwards, do those types of things. You'll be able, as a host and as an attendee, you'll be able to speak to one another during and after events. Okay, cool. And there'll be some tools for attendees to chat with one another during and after the event. So that says to me they're going to follow in that Clubhouse. I forgot what Clubhouse calls it, but Clubhouse has a thing where you can have side conversations while the big conversation is going on. You can be involved in a little private chat between you and somebody else. Okay. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give LinkedIn some applause on that, because, yeah, they're a little late. They're a little late with it, but better late than never. I'm interested and intrigued to see how LinkedIn users will leverage this. Because here's the thing. We've seen how people have used Clubhouse. We've seen how people have used Twitter Spaces and not always for good. Yeah. So I'm curious to see if we will use these audio spaces, these audio only spaces, for good. I won't say for evil, but for other things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want to roll up in a conversation on LinkedIn and be in a moan room with businessmen. The visual on that is kind of funny to me, but you know what I'm saying. So that's, yeah. So big ups to LinkedIn for finally jumping into the audio, social audio space, I guess is what we're going to call it, with their own Clubhouse version. That should really pop off in the next month or so. They're saying we're rolling this out with a select group of people right now, this month, and then we'll extend it, and then we'll start adding more and more people, offering it more people and things of that nature over the spring. All right. Interesting. All right. So that's it, people. That's a wrap. That is all we have for the social media scene today. I thank y'all for watching, for coming in, wherever you may be, doing what you do. All right. So, I mean, it's not official until I do this. We out. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, please, because the Omicron, some people call it Omicron, and now we got the flu and the COVID mixture, cocktail, virus, whatever you want to call it, going on. So people, be careful. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you next week. If you have a question regarding social media, please feel free to DM the page wherever you are watching, or hit me up via social media, and I will get to it as soon as possible. Try to respond and answer your question as best I know how. And hey, if I don't know, I'll point you to someone who does. Okay? And if there is a topic you want me to discuss via social media on this here show, then let me know. If you want to be my guest and you like to talk and you have, a perspective to share on social media, let me know that too, because I like having guests on the show. Makes it more fun for me. It's a little bit more work, but I like that. It's all good. So let me know that too. All right. So that's it. See you next week. Same time, same place, same social media profiles. Bye-bye.